You are such an asshole!
Hey everybody, the old captain here, and this is assholeconsulting.com. You can go to assholeconsulting.com, where I, the world's only professional asshole, will answer your questions. And we had a little bit of email troubles, not that much. I was driving across the country, but I think everything has been taken care of, and it's back to business as usual, except I'm not in my fucking house. Fucking spent 2 months in the fucking Southwest avoiding snow, and now I'm like, okay, I gotta get back home. Anyway, a young man writes, Aaron, I'm requesting a video response to an economics question. How is it possible for all asset classes to be at high valuations right now? Stocks, bonds, gold, real estate, and the U.S. dollar. I always thought that hard assets went up in value during inflation when the dollar got weak and vice versa. What's going on now? Well, let me know how much I'll gladly pay for your answer. Paul. All right, well, thank you, Paul. All right, well, this one's easy because, and you're 100% right, where you're saying, well, wait, if we flood the market with dollars, we just print off a ton of dollars, the dollar should go down in value, and the relative to the price of pretty much every other asset out there. If you inflate your currency, everything goes up in price. And not just assets, consumable goods, commodities, Pepsi, I mean, just look at Venezuela or Zimbabwe, everything goes up in price. Well, what's happening in the United States is we've tripled the money supply under Barack Obama, and prices have remained relatively stable for consumer items. And then still, though, asset prices, investable assets, your stocks, your bonds, your mutual funds, even real estate now has been going up. So he's like, well, what the fuck? How can it be that your dollars, but the dollar value has also been going up relative to other currencies? So, well, how is it we printed off all this money and the dollar's value has not collapsed, but asset prices have also been increasing? So you see kind of the effects of inflation, but the dollar itself has not been inflated. So what's going on here? What you're failing to factor into is that we don't sit in a closed economy where it's just the United States dollar. We sit in an international economy, a global economy, where there is also, in addition to dollars buying goods and services within the United States, buying U.S. stocks, buying U.S. bonds, there's also foreign demand for different asset classes within the United States, not to mention our currency. So even though the United States is very big, we're only a third of global GDP, so you have 2/3 of global GDP, and some of these people, in addition to buying U.S. assets, U.S. stocks, bonds, real estate, stuff like that, they may also just want to hold the U.S. dollar. And that's pretty much what has been making the dollar strong, even though we completely printed off like 3 times the amount of dollars that were there just about 10, 12 years ago. So in addition to U.S. demand for investable assets, there's also foreign demand for U.S. assets. And also the U.S. dollar goes up because, well, there's any number one of reasons, but the predominant one is that the rest of the world kind of sucks. They just suck. We have the world's reserve currency, meaning if you want a contract or a business contract or a deal to be denominated in a stable currency, you know, let's say you're Venezuela or Zimbabwe or basically any shitty-ass second and third world country, you don't want your contracts denominated in pesos or bolivars, whatever fucktarded, currency they have. I want it denominated in U.S. dollars because those, quote, have value. The United States is much more stable than all these other countries. So there's a demand for things to be denominated in U.S. dollars. Also, a lot of countries, China, those former BRIC countries that were all just going to replace the United States, China's having huge debt problems. They're slowing economic growth. Brazil went down the toilet. Russia, they're like this, but the dollar then serves as a safe haven where people are like, whoa, I don't know if I want to invest in China anymore. I don't know if I want to invest in South America anymore. Where can I go to just park my money and keep its value? They go to the U.S. dollar. Brexit is another more recent thing that has driven a lot of money towards the U.S. dollar, where people are like, oh my God, a productive country doesn't want to be anchored to these piece of shit socialist, European parasites. The world's going to collapse. What do we do? And they run to the U.S. dollar. So that's describing the phenomenon where all asset classes are going up in value. We've printed off a ton of money, but yet the dollar is also going up in value because we measure it relative to other currencies. But think about it this way. You still do see a weakening in the dollar when asset prices go up, because that means you need more dollars to buy that same house, more dollars to buy that same stock, more dollars to buy that same bond. So you do see a weakening there, but what people don't, it's really weird. There's nothing different than an exchange rate. $2,000 for one house. That's an exchange rate of house to dollars. But we don't think of that as inflation because stocks going up is good and housing going up is good. We think that's good. I mean, it's just no, those things got more expensive. The value of the dollar went down relative to those things. But what dollars or currencies are usually quoted in terms of is other currencies. And so those are kind of two separate markets that you're comparing the dollar to, so it's apples and oranges. But you'll see the dollar increase in value relative to other currencies, but it is technically weakening. It's not just stocks are going up in value and housing is going up in value, but the dollar is also going down relative to those assets, if that makes any sense. Anyway, hope that helped out. If you guys have questions about economics or anything else, and as long as you have money, and you will give it to me, go to assholeconsulting.com, and I, the world's only professional asshole, will take care of you. Toodles.